why I have that music, but it's cool. But yeah, man, I guess we could just, kick it, not
Just
really
kick it
get
a little
in.
bit.
Yeah, just a little bit before we get in and stuff.
What's up, everybody? Sensei and
Oh,
Yusha.
if I knew, I would have put it up on my channel too. I could, probably put it up right now, but I'll do it later
Okay.
or another time. Yeah, man. So there's been a lot going on.
A whole lot going on. I'm trying to just soak it all in. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, 2022 into 2023 was a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But
But
you know what else? You know what else is interesting? Even though it was a lot, it was also, what I wanted to say was, you know what else it was a lot of?
what's that?
Money. Money.
Hey, you're not lying, dude.
It's not cheap, dude.
It's not cheap at all, man. Not cheap at all.
Yeah, it's
What's
not
up,
cheap.
people? Come pouring in.
Yeah, keep coming in, people. Keep coming in.
Send out emails. Get on the bullhorn. Get your
I
friends,
know.
your family. Everybody, CJ, what's happening? Oh, your power's out, dude.
Why? What happened? Was there a
He says
storm?
his power's out. You got some. We got to send you some candles down. I got to send you a candle care package.
Was there a storm or something? What
I don't
happened?
know. Yeah, he just said power. What's going on, CJ? Storm. What's up,
Oh,
Spartacus?
CJ. I know CJ, the guy in that room, right?
Yeah,
The big lab and all that.
he got the lab. CJ got a layer.
I know.
What's
I
up,
think
Spartacus?
I think he got the V13 and he was enjoying it, right? Was it him?
Oh, sorry to hear that, man. But you're okay, right, CJ? He said tornadoes.
Holy smokes! Where does he live? Midwest?
I'm not. You're in Tennessee, right, CJ? I believe he's in Tennessee. Yeah, I like Tennessee, man.
Interesting.
It's been a while since I've been out, but I had a great time in Tennessee.
Yeah, but there's no water around, right?
Well, I don't think where he lives, it looks more like out in like country.
Right, because I don't know. I can't live in a place where there's no water. Where there's when I say water, I mean like a huge body of water, like an ocean or something like
Oh,
that.
you're in Boston, so you're right there.
Yeah, like water everywhere. But Chicago is nice too. I mean, they have this massive lake.
Dude,
Which
it runs right through the city.
really is that how it works?
Dude,
Is
that's
it?
why I want to go to the Chicago Groundings this year, man. I did the DC
Oh,
Groundings last year. I want to do because Shango, he puts on his events are nice, man.
yes, 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 they are. Um, but I've never seen him. Well, I haven't seen all his stuff, but have you seen a
Oh, he's
video
on
of
the
him
lake. I'm on Kentucky Lake.
riding next to
Right.
the lake? Does he ride next to the lake?
Do you ride next to the lake?
I've never seen him right next to the lake.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any videos with him next to the lake. You got to do a lake video, man.
I know, dude. Like isn't that like a major attraction?
Paris Landing. Okay. How many people? We got 3 in the house.
Yeah. I'm trying to post it on my channel too. Yeah, but again, this was off the cuff, so
Oh yes, this is guys. This is definitely just off the cuff. We have some stuff we got to get off our chest.
Yeah, man, just get it off because we've been talking about it all week. So we're just like, let's just make a live, right?
EUC Lifer, what's up, buddy? I want to make it to AMP Games this year. I definitely want to make it. Hopefully, I can.
It would be nice for you to make it. You would love it, man.
I want to
You
make
would
it.
love it. You would love it.
I think I probably would just drive.
Drive down?
I would just drive.
Wow.
Me and my buddy Robertson, we've been talking about the different places we want to hit. Mm-hmm. So we probably just put AMP Games on there, man. Cannonball it.
Make it into like a trip, right?
Yeah, dude.
All right, so I put it on my channel. Hopefully people see it. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me see something here.
How can we get him to join? Or I would have to.
Yeah. There's a link there. If you look at the bottom, there's like a bunch of stuff. It shows invite. So if you click on that, if you click on that invite.
Okay. CJ, what we'll
Drop it in the
do
chat.
once we start kicking it up a little bit, I'll invite you in. We'll get you in.
Yeah.
Because I know that dude he's been riding all the wheels. I like to hear his
Who's that?
opinion on
Who's
some of
that?
the-
Who's that?
CJ.
Oh, it's CJ. Yeah. All right, guys. This is a quick short. We are live tonight. We didn't do any type of promotion or anything. This is Sensei Vegan and myself. We just have some stuff to get off our chest, and maybe you guys might be interested. So click on the link if there is a link. Go to Sensei Vegan. Oh my gosh. That's the thing about shorts. When I see the end, I'm like, ah!
Just rush everything in.
Like, whoa.
You got to talk like an auctioneer,
Let me
man.
Let me start again. Yeah, because I should have mentioned your name in the beginning. All right. Why do I? Oh, because it's 15 seconds. You have a minute one. All right, guys. This is Ustride. Sensei Vegan and myself we're both live tonight. So definitely go to Sensei Vegan's channel or my communities tab, and I have the link in there. But go to Sensei Vegan's channel, and you will see that he's live. We're live. So we're just, want to get some stuff off our chest because there's a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been doing lives. He hasn't been doing lives, but we've been talking a lot about stuff. So we decided, hey, let's just kick it with the people. And a lot of you have been testing the wheels already. So we don't have much chance to do it. So check out the live, and yeah, see you guys in a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just post this right now.
Yeah, CJ, once we get kicking to the stream a little bit, we'll invite you in. We want to start it off and then like to hear your opinion and just make it happen.
Yeah, just make it happen, man.
I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's slapping miles on their wheels.
All right, Sensei Vegan is live.
Oh, the meter is ticking up. Come one, come all. This is the live stream to rule them all. Let's go.
Funny, dude. What are you thinking? Oh yeah, should I just ask you what wheel you think? You have like how many wheels right now?
I'm glad you asked. I got the EX30 coming to V13s on its way. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you I was like, what? You didn't tell me that.
Right now, I'm happy with the RS, the Sherman, and the Tesla for right now. Because I think with the prices of the wheels, man, you really gotta know what you want to get. You know what I mean? Because it's not like they're not cheap.
They're expensive. Look, they're expensive to us.
Yeah,
because there's some people out there who's just like, oh, okay, bank.
That's true. My pockets aren't that deep yet. One day.
Yeah. Every time I try to make it deep, a hole pops up and just falls right out.
I got like a hole built in my pocket. I do want to say something for the V13, but I want to save it.
Okay.
If we get started.
But why don't you write it down so you don't forget?
It's up here.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
it's up where? In your brain?
Up in the dome piece.
But
I'll write it down.
I can't help you if you forget. So
I'm not. I'm gonna write it down.
Just so you know.
Got the Sharpie.
Oh man. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are preparing for that game, man, for the AVS,
Oh yeah.
Man, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Just seeing everybody around,
I think honestly that would be the best part for me, just meeting everybody.
Yeah, just seeing it. Awesome. And you know what else was good? The races were okay, so I didn't get a chance to race, but but you know what's cool? When the races are done, the heats they call it, when the heats are done, you get to go on the track and just race, nice. Ride around while they set everything up. So you could just say, "Hey, Sensei, come race me right now. Let's go."
One-on-one, baby.
Yeah, we just go. It's crazy.
Hey, I'm putting this out there right now. Now, I wouldn't do it. I think the event at the next AMP Games they need to add is racing for pink slips. Pink.
Oh,
right?
Dude,
racing
that's
for
a great idea.
That's it, man.
I would cut out right away because I'll be pumped.
Pink slip to your wheel, man.
But dude, that is a great idea. How come
you heard it first here? I'm not doing it
about that
because someone's walking away at my wheel. I'm not.
No, but I'm saying like there's some people online who have like some real beef, not beef,
dude.
but like New Yorkers. We're the best. you know, like California. Well, we're not the best, but we're good. You know, like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, prove it then. And when you prove it, like, put your money where your mouth is. Like,
that's
pink
it.
slips.
Put
Dude,
that wheel up. Put
that'd
the
be
pink up to the
awesome.
wheel.
What? Whoa.
That's it, guys. Remember, you heard it first here.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Pink slips. The last time I saw pink slips was Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Remember that
The
show?
the
Pinks? They had that
original
show.
one. I know about that one.
Yeah, it was a drag racing show. And yeah, you bring your car, you go to the drag strip, and you would race for pink slips.
So here's the thing with pink slips, right? Does it involve money as well, or just your car?
If you want to put money up, but usually it's just whoever wins walks away with the owner's car.
Wow.
Sign it over.
Or we could do like that guy in Fast and the Furious, be like, "Oh no, I gotta go, no,
Just drive away."
Like, where are you going? Oh gosh,
He panicked. He panicked. That's hilarious.
And the funny thing is, he left and he parked at his house.
Right? Yeah. First Fast and Furious was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong. He's streaming today too. Oh, well, he's back in Poland though, right? I think Wrong Way.
He's streaming right now.
Well, he said, let's see, Wrong Way was streaming live today. Oh, he was doing it live. I don't know if he's still live.
Okay. No, I don't think anybody's streaming right now. The only person I know that streams this late is
Duff sometimes.
Duff, yeah.
But I don't think he's doing it today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stan, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to why there's mixed reviews on the God mod.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much the essential part of this
because
discussion right now. So
you want to start? You want to dive into it, or
wait? You could dive into it.
Okay,
you froze for a little bit. I'm like, okay, go ahead. You could dive into it. Yeah, you could.
All right. So what we're going to do here? We're going to go to the screen first.
Okay.
Right here. So guys, pay attention to this clip and listen to what Roger has to say, because Roger breaks it down so simple, so eloquently, you know. And I trust Roger. Roger builds battery packs. He tinkers with the wheels. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing. So listen to what he says when he's asked this question.
All right.
Okay, so Mickey had a question about that.
First, can you hear the audio?
I hear perfect. Yeah.
And one in the chat if you guys can hear the audio. One in the chat.
Is there a risk of overstressing your battery with the God mod?
No, absolutely not. No. So it's like a buffer. So it will take the maximum draw from your battery, which will voltage sag you, and it'll sort of level that out. And braking and all that stuff will go towards charging the capacitors, so it'll level those out. It's like a buffer, like a battery buffer.
Okay. So there's your answer, Mickey.
You can't get any more simple than that. Okay. I have the God mod on my RS, and my initial thought when I got on the wheel, I was like, wait a second. The pedals feel different. The pedals feel stiffer. And then, I made the video and people were saying, that's a lot of money to spend just to change the mode. Like the soft mode would go to medium mode, and then medium mode goes to hard mode. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not like that. I noticed when I would start pushing a wheel, you would get a slight dip in your pedals, and it would just level out, and you can just keep accelerating, but your pedals wouldn't dip. It wouldn't dip. And I was like, I just kept accelerating, slowing down, accelerating, slowing down. Because a lot of people say, oh man, that's placebo. And I'm like, nah, it's not placebo. You can push the wheel much harder with that mod. Now, I'm not a super fast rider. So, of course, the bigger the capacitor or the God mod, the better it's going to be. I say if you're a racer, go with the biggest one. If you're like a casual rider, you can go with the small one. But if you can afford it, I would say you go with the medium-sized mod, and that would be good for just about any rider. But for me, the God mod works. I noticed that I can push my RS harder, and your pedals just don't get all that dip in it. It just the wheel feels stronger. It feels stronger.
So I guess when people, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I guess when you say, because in your first video you said God mod works, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess what people want to know is, what does it mean by working? Because I don't think because I don't think Declan, maybe he was clear, but maybe he wasn't clear enough as to what does it work mean. Because to you, for example, it might mean the pedals don't dip, because a lot of
Right.
people complain about the dipping and all that stuff. So for you, that's what working means. But what else does it mean? What is it for? What is the God mod for? You
I
know what
would. Okay. Now, if you're a racer, you can accelerate a lot harder. Meaning you can lean forward and you don't have to worry about, like if you don't have a torque wheel and you have a high speed wheel, you can lean harder on a torque wheel than you can a high speed without it cutting out. I think you did an experiment with that when you were on your high speed. Was it your high speed RS? Not your your MSP.
Yeah.
And you blew the board.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think your board wouldn't have blown with that. Now, I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying that you can't blow it, but what I'm saying it would make it a lot harder. You can literally feel that extra firmness when you're pushing down. I don't want to say it's like it's fighting back, but you push on it, it's like, wait a second, I can push harder, and then you keep pushing. You're like, what? It feels like you can just keep going.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. So sometimes for my high speed, for example, I tend to pull back a little bit once I reach a certain threshold, because that threshold really to me is just, I could kind of feel the wheel two-wise, like the motor giving up in a way.
Exactly.
And so you're like, okay, should I push harder? So what I end up doing is not pushing harder, like in a short space, but pushing harder in a longer space. So a gradual push.
Right.
And the second thing that happens is that causes me to pull back at that certain threshold. For example, if it's too cold out, if it's wind or whatever, or if my acceleration is too hard, is that pedal I feel tends to not dip, but taper off a little bit. And then because I ride with my pedals back tilted, like 3.5 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, and the only reason I have it tilted back is because it gives me the feedback I need when that threshold I feel is passed. Sometimes, obviously, if you cut out, you cut out, but it does help me. So you're saying that the God mod, once applied or once installed, keeps the pedal up.
Now it will dip down a little bit. It's going to dip, but it gets to the point where it dips and it just levels. It doesn't want to drop below that point.
Wow, that's interesting.
See, this is one thing. I don't know, like if anyone's watching my videos, I hope you all watch my videos in here. I always have an angle where I show the camera on my feet a lot of times, so people can see the pedals, what they're doing. Go around the turns, you see the pedals dip. Especially when you do a sharp turn, you can see the pedals dip on the RS. The RS is known for pedal dipping. If you look at my recent videos with the God mod on there, way less dip. It's just you don't get this, that whole.
I know what you mean. Wow, that's
especially in soft mode. I know the reason why I got the God mod. It was cold outside. This is probably what month are we in now? I would say right after he did the show. Right, I went out. I was riding. It was cold. I hit this dip in the road, and I hear beep, 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 and the RS just goes. Wah! I'm like, nah. I'm getting the mod.
Wait. This was before the mod.
This is before I got the mod. Yeah, dude. I thought I was going to go down pedals. Boom. I was like, nah. I'm going to get the mod. I've been riding in the cold. I haven't done it since.
See, that's the thing. That's the and again, like subjective reason or subjective answers or subjective results is not bad. It's just who likes subjective results. You know what I mean? Because in order for me to experience it, I have to purchase it.
It's like you have to that's what I said. I want
in order for me to believe it even works, I have to purchase it.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I tell anybody. It's like before you say it doesn't work, try it.
But that's what I'm saying. So I know you're going to talk about EUC upgrades next, so I'm not gonna transition into that. But so I'll wait. but it just, to me, it feels like because it's electronic, there should be a way to test it and get some quantitative results, so that at least we can say, well, look, the capacitor is charging or it's discharging when the cutout happens or when the battery is, what I'm saying? And also, like, I know between you, it's what's his name? George Go. It seems like the one consistent thing I saw between you in terms of your reviews is the pedal. The pedal tends to be affected. So the soft mode becomes the medium, medium becomes hard, hard becomes harder.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
so it seems like the main upgrade or mod is the pedals. But I'm curious because I don't want to assume to myself that this is going to help me ride better if that's not what its purpose is. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I
Because
think
if I'm a hard rider, and I like to push hard, based on what you said, it seems like I should have more confidence because of that. You know.
I think people that race and ride at higher speeds will feel it more than the people that just are like cruise riders like myself. Like I said, I don't ride as fast as you, but if you're the type of rider that likes to push your wheel, you will feel it. You'll feel it right away. You'll feel it right away. I mean, dude, it's just, I keep saying it, man. The pedals, it's just, it feels like you can just keep on pushing. Now, again, you got to be careful because you can still get a high speed cutout. You know, of course, the bigger the mod. I remember Declan saying, like, if you have the smaller one of the guys that was testing the smaller one, I think it was on a Nikola. Don't quote me, but a Nikola, he could actually feel when the mod drained, and then when it charged back up, the rider could actually feel it because he had the smaller one. So he could feel when the capacitor drained out, and then once it charged back up, you can feel it charge back up, and he pushed the wheel again.
I personally just hate subjective stuff,
Right?
Because it hypes you up because you can feel great about it, and it just hypes you up, you know. But I would like to know. Here's what I'd like to know. I'd like to know exactly what parameters this thing, like where it's beneficial.
Right.
So I know so far.
Let's take a look at AUC upgrades video. We can cue that up.
All right. Let's start with the first one. Okay. It's ready to go if you're ready.
Yeah. Go. Okay. Let's go.
This is the first one though. This is the true capacitor, the big one. That's the second one. Which one do you want?
Let's go with the most recent one.
Okay. This is the most recent one. So let me see if I can do this. All right. You ready or?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll speed up a little bit just to get it to the testing part, but let's cue it up now.
Okay. So let's go to the testing part.
Right.
I'm not even sure. I haven't seen this one.
Go back to where you see the 9-bot. Go back. Right there. Right
okay.
there.
So go ahead.
Yep.
All right.
So it's back on.
Okay, go back a little bit more.
This will really 10.
A little bit more.
8.
A little more.
Yep.
A little more.
So I got the in small 0.7 volt of.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
That's almost at the beginning.
Okay.
It's
Today
like at the
I'll be
beginning.
showing you my latest
Here.
mod.
This is
Okay.
it.
Someone was saying that it needs about 10 seconds. So what I've done is I have actually made a true super capacitor. Okay. So so there's a lot of capacitor in here, and the super capacitor. They're true super capacitor, and they are 2.7 volt of capacitors. Because with super capacitor, they got more charge, and they are in small voltage. So I got a pack of here. This is a 160 volt pack. Okay, so 160 volt pack, and that can go into the bigger wheel, 100 volt, 134 volt wheel, and this will work. Now, because it's a super capacitor, it's got a lot of charge. So let's demonstrate this. So I got plugged in. This is fully charged up now. So I got the battery here, and it's split into a super capacitor. So let's turn this on. So let's demonstrate without the super capacitor. So let's unplug this. So the capacitor is off. And let's turn the wheel on. So now it's balanced. Okay? So I unplug it. 1.
Look at that.
The wheel is dropped off. So let's
Nice.
plug this back in. Let's put in the supercapacitor.
Pay attention. This is awesome right here.
Okay. Now let's turn this on. There you go. So now the wheel is on with my supercapacitor. And let's see what happened when I unplug the main battery. Okay, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
He's way behind.
18,
Yeah.
19. There you go. 19 seconds.
Actually, it's 28 seconds.
So the supercapacitor can
Can you
withstand
pause it for a second?
19
Yeah.
seconds.
That to me is potent. Now remember, the capacitor or God mod is not a standalone battery, and I think that's the misconception that people have. It's not a battery pack.
hmm
That thing stayed up for what? 20 was it 28 seconds?
Yeah.
28 seconds with no battery supply.
hmm
Now the God mod, even though it's smaller, look how fast that thing recharged when it connected to
Right.
the battery.
Right.
And that's
right.
not even with the regenerative braking. So, if you're
he's
hooked
gonna-
up to
so
a
that's
battery
That's
supply,
what's gonna happen next.
yeah, you're hooked up to a battery supply, that thing's going to constantly stay charged up.
hmm
So you don't have to, that's what people can't, oh, you need at least 10 seconds. No, you don't need it because it's not a standalone. It's not supposed, you're piggybacking off the battery.
hmm
So yeah, keep it playing.
Okay.
Let's charge that back up again. Go. So it's back on. So this will really work now because it's a supercapacitor, and it will definitely work. Okay, it will stop the wheel cutting out. That extra supercharge pushed into the wheel. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There you go. Woo!
Yeah. Wow.
And the
That
dude,
is- that is
and if you,
interesting.
that's crazy. And the Abrams actually stays up even longer.
So what's interesting about this, like you mentioned, is that if it was a battery, the battery would need time to charge again. This is
Right.
a supercapacitor, so it's pretty
You
quick.
see how fast he plugs it in, and it's like
yeah.
it's ready to go.
So if you had multiple attempts or multiple instances of you possibly like the cutout, then if you saved yourself because you pushed too hard, it would have time to charge again, so you'd have it again. Unlike a battery, I mean, the battery would be good too, because if you have a really good 400 watt hour
Mhm.
battery just for that, it would make sense. But I think a capacitor makes. I don't know.
Now they did, if I'm not mistaken, they did cut the God mod out. It was a medium-sized one. I think when Amber was running it, they were testing it, but it was on the EXN at 54 miles an hour at 30% battery. But she was pushing that wheel hard.
Did she have a big mod or a small?
She had a
mod?
medium mod on it.
Medium mod.
So if she'd have had the large mod, I think wouldn't have cut. But again,
But,
you have
but that raises a question, though. That raises the question I was telling you earlier. So he demonstrated that with no load.
Mhm.
Okay, I wouldn't say no load because he's hand pushing it
Right.
is some type of load, but this thing is supposed to handle above 100 pounds, right?
Mhm.
And most of us are. What's your weight?
I'm 188, 190.
So I'm pretty much the same, right? So most people is probably between like 125 with Chooch all the way up to like, I don't know, 200 something, right?
Mhm.
So on in theory, it works. And when I say in theory, I mean there's no load on it, no real load. So my question with this is, with the God mod on, and you apply the same load that an average person would ride a wheel at, would it perform the same way? And I don't think it will because of the load. You see what I'm saying? So 20 seconds or 28 seconds, for example, at my weight, 197 pounds, what would that equate to if he just stood on it?
Right.
This,
No,
like
I get that. No, I get that 100%. Again, I don't have the numbers for that. But I think going off how fast we saw this thing recharge, again, the bigger, the better. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The bigger the mod, the better off you're going to be.
But it would be interesting, right, for that
Yeah.
type of test to be done.
Now, this is
Because-
interesting too. This goes back to the Abrams. He did a test with the Abrams. Okay, they had a brand new Abrams that had the firmware, and they had the Abrams that had the firmware and the hardware upgrade. Now, remember, the Abrams had a problem with cutting out. Riders were cutting that wheel out all the time. You know how they fixed it? They added capacitors to the wheel.
Wait. Who?
That's EUC Upgrades has a video where to fix the cutoff problem with the Abrams.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they added capacitors. They added extra capacitors. So when they picked the wheel up, they say that the wheel that had the firmware and the hardware, it actually felt stronger than the wheel that just had the firmware on it. The one that just had the firmware, it felt weak. It felt like you know, when you go back and forth, like it's going to cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
So maybe that could be another test too. You lift it, push it forward, see if it cuts. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's
You could try that on your wheel,
work.
actually. You could try that on your wheel.
I could actually.
You could, yeah.
I could.
Because we're used to it, right? We do a lift test, and we know once it reaches the max, it's gonna cut out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
Dude,
it's not cutting out because it's not cutting out with the lift
Dude,
test.
I got to get to Boston.
With the lift test, it's not cutting out because of too much lean. It's just cutting out because that's the maximum. It can go.
Right.
So I don't know if that'll apply.
But and then he does another test with the Abrams. The Abrams actually lasts for over a minute.
Holy moly!
Yeah, with the mod hooked up. If you want to fast forward a little bit, you actually see it. But it definitely works.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just start.
Right there.
As we delve into the rich history of Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots, it becomes a
You see how many seconds that was?
That was fine. Okay, let's go back for a
To
second.
100 volt now. So it's fully charged. So let's turn it on. So now the wheel is on. Okay. So it's on 100 volt. So what happened if we disconnect the battery now? Okay. It's still on. 1, 2,
Wow!
3, 4,
Holy smokes! What was that?
5,
He
6,
lifted it up.
7,
Yeah, it sounded horrible though.
8, 9, 10.
Still
Okay.
up.
It's still going. It's still going. Now it's off.
Okay.
Now the next one will be for a minute.
How many seconds that was?
Okay.
So let's pull that back up.
And I believe this wheel, he actually has the extra capacitors. That's his own wheel, I believe. He has the extra capacitors hardware on there too.
Wow. Either way, that's awesome, dude.
It is, dude.
Okay, so let's do that again. So this time we turn it on. Okay. So you see how many seconds, yeah? So the battery will go off.
Look how fast it recharged.
Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
I'm gonna get Kevin a metronome.
20,
I know.
21, 22, 23,
He does it based on his
24.
breathing.
Yeah,
25,
Kevin's awesome.
26, 27,
Funny guy.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32,
That's insane, dude.
33, 34, 35, 36,
He's
37.
funny. It's a minute now.
That's
It's at 38.
39, 40, 41, 42,
It's so funny.
43, 44,
1 minute later.
45, 45 seconds, guys.
No, over 60 seconds.
Woo! 45 seconds. So that charges back up. So I take my supercapacitor out. Supercapacitor out.
Yeah, dude.
Turn it back on. This on the battery. And let's remove the battery. One, 2 seconds.
Yeah, dude.
There you have it.
That's awesome.
So after that demonstrations, and see the true supercapacitor does really work. And I mean, this is one of those things that I will definitely have for my own wheel. So I will be making more for my bigger wheel, small wheel, and and that will just give you definitely extra safety, because supercapacitor, they are very, very fast discharge. They discharge quicker than the battery. So any downtime or if the battery doesn't sustain, the supercapacitor is always there to push the power in to sustain the wheel. So it's an extra safety. Which
could you pause it real fast?
I'm
sorry. What he said right there was key too.
I don't like
Remember
that.
I kept talking about the pedals, like the pedals feel firm.
Yeah.
That's it. Why they're not dipping? Because that thing is adding that extra, putting that extra power to the battery to keep the pedals level.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. And it's not like and as I was telling you, when Amber, or was it Amber, cut out?
Right.
So it's not like most people cut out with zero battery. You know what I mean? There's always some charge in the battery. So him having to demonstrate it without the battery is impressive. So with the battery connected,
I think she was at 54 miles an hour on an EXN too. It wasn't like she was running at like 35, 40 miles an hour. She was running hard on that thing.
I'm just really curious to test it with load, you know, like with an
Right.
actual human being on it. So maybe that, because he's doing it in phases. The first one he did a little wheel, little capacitor. Now he's doing a super capacitor with a bigger wheel. Maybe the third one he'll do it with actual load. And like you said earlier, just stay on it, do the same thing, turn it off, and instead of his hand moving it back and forth, let's see if he can rock it back and forth. You know what I mean?
Like if you go to, I don't know, like a supermarket and they have the stall where you know what I mean, where it has the rails on the side. Yeah.
Or the wall, just the wall.
Exactly.
Just go back, just have someone disconnect it. Maybe you could disconnect it and just try it, because now that's true supercapacitor versus true weight. So now my question is, just on the thought of it, when the supercapacitor is connected to the battery, the battery is constantly charging the supercapacitor to its fullest. But when you disconnect the battery, which again, this is not a realistic test in a good way. A good way, not in a bad way. In a good way.
What he's doing is worst case scenario.
It's worst case scenario.
That's worst case scenario.
That's worst case scenario. Exactly. So if he did an actual test, he would actually have to do this at 50, 45%, lowest, maybe 30% battery.
Mm-hmm.
And at 30% battery, your battery is low. You're not going to push it hard.
You're not going to push your wheel.
If he does it where he goes out for a ride and then he lets the battery drop to like 45%, and then he tests the supercapacitor at 45%, turn it off, not even turn it off, leave it on. And then actually, no, he would have to bring the battery down to 45%, charge it at 45, charge the capacitor with the main battery at 45%, disconnect it, and then connect it again to see how fast it recharges.
How fast it recharges.
You know what I mean? At 45%.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's the same amount of time, then how much battery does this capacitor really need from the main? How much charge does it need from the main capacitor, from the main battery to charge it? You know what I mean?
I got you. And remember, it also charges.
Does it only need 10% battery? You see what I'm saying?
I got you. How much percentage does it need? But remember too, it also charges when you regen too. The regen braking. So when you pull
right,
it's putting it back in there too.
So another question is, I wonder how did he set it up? Like, does he have a limiter? Does he have, because can a supercapacitor explode? Can it overcharge? Can it, you know what I mean?
Well, I can't answer that. I
Yeah.
don't want to give any wrong answer.
Or does it just stop when it
Or-
reaches the limit? You know.
I watched some videos that say that it once it's done, it tape. That's it. It won't take any more charge. I've heard
Interesting.
that,
Yeah.
but I don't want to put out wrong information. I want to answer a couple questions. I'm just scanning over here. One thing people talk about the price, and this is what I'll say about the price of the God Mod. I paid $265 for a pair of spike pedals, and I paid $165 for my God Mod. So what I'm saying, I've paid $150 for a pair of pads, the power pads, numerous pads. Anything you buy for an electric unicycle, the stuff's not cheap.
It's not cheap. Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, you think it's this small little wheel, so when you buy something, it's gonna be cheap, dude. It's not cheap.
Not
Like for the average person, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. Now again, I think he can cut the prices down on something, but at the same time, I don't think. I have to thank him. When I ordered my God Mod, I ordered a small one. They didn't have any more small ones. He sent me a medium one, so I thanked him for that. But for me, $165 or even $300, that's still comparable with a set of pedals or an ER visit, like a few $1,000, right? Your
Yeah.
wheel cut out and you go down and you bust yourself up, man. You're gonna be paying a few $1,000s in medical bills anyway. So
what do you make of George Go? Because he had load on his test kit.
mhm.
And when I say load, I mean you're naturally not gonna want to fall when you test something, when you test the wheel.
Right.
So when you push it, you're not gonna want to fall. So you're not gonna want to push it even if you know that's what its purpose.
Right.
You're still gonna have an instinct not to push too hard. So it's very biased. You know what I mean? When you test it subjectively.
No, 100%. I think.
So when-
Again, I love George's channel. My thing with George, two things. One, if he didn't feel anything with the wheel, he wouldn't have left it on. He would take it
Well,
off.
no. Well, what I'm trying to say is I was trying to set it up because what I was trying to say is when he went up the hill,
Mhm.
you notice it cut out.
Right.
So that's to me a true test.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Right. For me, I would say level ground. I'm not going to tell anybody to go ride up some hill. It's not, because I heard people saying, well, it makes your wheel into a torque wheel. I'm not gonna go that far as saying that.
I mean, technically it does because if the pedals get stiffer and it's giving you the feeling that you could push harder, because with me, like I said, I ride with my pedals tilted backwards and I feel I could push harder because I don't feel that forward dip. I always,
Right.
I'm at that angle where it's like I feel safe. So I will push harder.
Why I don't like telling people it turns your wheel into a torque wheel, and this is my opinion. What if the best analogy I can come up with, it makes your batteries feel like you have high discharge batteries, like you put Molly cell batteries in your wheel. That's what it feels like to me. Because think about it, you can push the Molly cells harder. You can push them harder. So, because remember with the S18, when they put the Molly cells in, the riders were saying that they could actually, because S18 was known for cutting out too, if you torque it too much. So when people start riding the ones with the Molly cell, you could actually push that wheel harder.
So interesting. So Willow New Zealand said they will explode. They can overcharge, so they will explode. But again, I don't know what his setup is. In general, I think he's right, but I don't know what EUC Upgrades setup is or Declan.
I'm sorry, if you look in that video, there's comments and someone addressed that, and Kevin addressed that in the comments about the overcharging and exploding and all that stuff. He addressed that. So
okay, but I want to answer another person's. So I don't think so. Stan, you stated that I think George wanted to peddle his product, but if you've seen the video, you'll see. Yeah, maybe of course it's his product. You have to peddle your own product, of course. But he wasn't biased though, because he did the same test with his product versus the other product, and they both had similar results. So his cut out on the hill, and the other one cut out on the hill. Although I didn't see which one he put in. I like to see with my eyes that this was the one that's in, You know, like show the video. This was the God mod,
Mhm.
and he just said this was the God mod. I didn't actually see him, but that's besides the point. The point was
Right.
he tested both of them pretty much the same way, and both had very similar results. And this leads to my point where if you have a load added to it,
Mhm.
what's taking the load? Is the supercapacitor strong enough to hold the wheel up with
Right.
your load? You know,
Or how long can it keep that load
exactly
up? Right.
exactly,
How much time?
exactly yeah.
And that's why I think even
Because
George did the same
28
thing.
because 28 seconds might be 10 seconds.
It might be 10 seconds.
with
Right.
different weights, you
Right.
know, or with different force or whatever.
Right. And
These are
then,
things
and
that-
even George said the same thing. The bigger the better. And you can see with Kevin's video, the bigger the capacitor, the better off you're going to be.
But with EUC upgrades, it's not necessarily the bigger the better. His is a true supercapacitor.
right.
So he mentioned something that I think is very important is the discharge rate of the supercapacitor being faster than that of a battery. So I don't know what Declan is using. What do you know what he's using? Is it a supercapacitor or is it just a regular capacitor?
Well, this is the thing. You can make a supercapacitor just by adding capacitors together, if I'm not mistaken.
Not necessarily. Supercapacitors actually have specific specifications.
Oh,
That
you're
make
right.
them
Yeah.
supercapacitors.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing I think where people were getting a little leery about help me out here with Declan, because he wasn't showing the make and all that type of stuff. So I don't know 100% what he's using. If you go to George Go video, he'll show you the capacitors that he was using.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
that's why I like George Go's review, is because even though you have a product, of course you're gonna push it. Come on, guys, that's ridiculous. What do you mean you can't push your product? You feel like he's peddling his product. That's a good thing. He should peddle his product. But what I appreciated of the review is that he tested both of them side by side the same way, and he got similar results. And as you stated, he shows what capacitor he's using. Now,
Right.
I would prefer that Declan be a little bit more open and show us what capacitor he's using, what setup he's using. You know what I mean? Because we clearly see in this case, I would like to do a similar test, or I'd like you, sir, Sensei Vegan, since you own it, to do the exact same test that
As far as
EUC upgrade.
pop the wheel open and unplug it.
The exact same test that EUC you know what I'm saying? And because
Right.
you have it, and
Right.
it would be very interesting to see the time difference between that tiny 9-bot. And now I don't know the capacitance, okay, of the one you have compared to the one he has. So there might be some variation. There will be some variation there.
When he did it with the God mod, he got 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
He got 3 seconds.
That's not good.
Yes, again, yes and no. And this is why I keep saying.
But what do you mean?
I
Okay.
keep saying yes and no. The bigger, the better. Of course, the stronger the supercapacitor, the better.
Which God mod did he use? Was it the small?
Did he say the large or the medium? I don't want to misquote him.
Okay.
I look like the medium size to me. Now I could be wrong, but that's what the size looked like
Hey,
to me.
3 seconds is better than 0, right?
But
But at the same time, it goes back to my point. The load is important because 28 seconds might turn into 10 seconds with true load. 3 seconds might be -10.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
But this is the thing. Remember what Roger said though. This is what I think. It's not it's not supposed to be a standalone.
Absolutely. And that's where I agree with you.
That's the point.
That's a
That's
good
what I
point,
think
yeah.
people keep missing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
supposed to be it's not a battery.
That's right.
So the
that's
3
right.
seconds
Yeah.
could actually be longer because it's
Right,
hooked up to a
right.
battery source.
Okay.
It's discharging and recharging. So
Yeah.
I think that's the factor that we have to add in
Okay. I think
with
you're
the
right. Yeah.
capacitor.
You're
Capacitor,
right.
supercapacitor, depending on I guess the plates that are inside of it, but it definitely makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. And I think with anything, and of course, CJ, like you said, the price could be better. Yeah. But I say with anything, the price could be better on a lot of these stuff. Like to me, none of these wheels should cost $4,000 for me. If you open up a wheel, there's not much to it. And I hear people say, oh, well, the batteries are expensive. There's places where you can go get batteries, and you look at the batteries, you're like, wait, I can get this many batteries? So I think everything's
It's
a little
just the
bit
cost.
overpriced.
Yeah, it's just the cost of production, you know.
Yeah, I think that price
packaging and all that. Spartacus says no. George did it with a small God mod on the X20. Wheel that size, medium or large God mod was recommended. Agreed. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think he ordered the small, but he got a medium. Because I have a small God. Let me wait here. I'll show you guys. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, guys, this is interesting stuff. I mean, the Russians came up with this a while ago. I remember them. Was it the Russians or was
Yeah,
it
it
EUC?
was.
Yeah.
If you go to Instagram,
Mhm.
their page is EUCU.
Yeah.
They
I
had
remember
the
them coming up
capacitors
with
on.
this.
And then if you go to the Light Device on YouTube, that's their channel. Yeah, they
Mhm.
had these things like two, maybe longer. I saw them 2 years ago.
So what's interesting is they existed all this time, but what happened? No promotion, no testing. What happened? Maybe they didn't know the purpose of it. What happened?
Now these are the. I don't know if you guys can see these, but these are the.
Well, you can take the screen out. You can take the screen out so we can see.
Okay, let me go with me here. So hold up the camera. These are the God mods, the small ones for the Sherman, right here.
So, but there's no specs on it, right?
No,
Okay.
so again, I still have to put it in the Sherman. I mean, I'll do some more testing with the RS, but as of right now, I mean, I feel the difference, but I would have to get someone else's opinion that's never rode, wheel with the God mod on to actually.
So when he says small, medium, big, is that just a generic term? Like, how is it measured?
I'm not sure how he's doing his measurements. Like I said, I know that small one is definitely not as big as the medium one. If you've ever seen the Bluetooth speaker inside the MSP or the RS, the red speaker, that my medium mod is almost the same size as the speaker because I took the speaker out to actually put my medium size mod in there.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, all, but
Yeah.
EUC Upgrade just brought up such a great point. The discharge rate, because the supercapacitor, as he stated, discharges way faster than the battery, which is what is important for saving your skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you have a regular capacitor, you just showed us two of them. These looks like individual capacitors,
Right.
and if you look at EUC upgrades, that's like
his were all bridged together.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
from my understanding, when I was going back and forth just to make sure I put it in right, this smaller mod is for each side of the Sherman. You put one on each side because it has two batteries. So you put one on one side and one on the other. And then if you want, you can actually get another one of those and you can bridge them together if you want. So, but I'm just, like I said, I don't ride super hard, so I just got the smaller one for the Sherman. And then like I said, because like if I go do races and stuff, I'll end up using my RS anyway. That's why I put the bigger one on there.
So when do you think you'll be able to do that test?
As far as popping out the battery, I don't know. Because I will say this. I didn't see it happen to Kevin, but when you take that thing off, when I put mine on, it was like pow, dude. What? Yeah. Sometimes like it'll make a noise, dude. It scared the crap out of me.
Wait, plugging it or unplugging it?
When you plug it back in, it's like,
oh yeah, that's normal with the
yeah, dude.
They're always hot, always hot. Yeah.
What, dude?
Always hot.
I didn't expect it to be that loud, dude. I had to pull my head out the ceiling. Yeah.
No, I remember once I was like, okay, it's gonna spark, so don't freak out. And it sparked and I freaked out.
Dude, it catches you off guard. It catches you off guard so bad. So bad.
Oh,
but
man.
I mean, I would just recommend people to try it. I know he's on tour. They were down in Miami testing it out. He's gone to some different cities to let people ride it on different wheels. And I would say if you can get to a ride, just go ahead and try it out, and then you make your decision. If you want to buy one of his, or if you want to make one of your own, I say just be careful when you make your own modifications. Make sure you know what you're doing, but do what's best for you. I try to support the people in the community. I don't mind spending a couple extra bucks on stuff. I try to, help people out a little bit. So.
Another good test would be testing like a little torque test at like 25% or 30% battery, you know.
I think the
That'd be-
lowest that I got to was 47. It was cold outside. I didn't charge the wheel. I was riding at 57% battery. And then it dropped down to 47%. And you know, in the cold, it even sags even more than that. And that was actually in a video. And I was pushing the wheel up, 40 miles an hour, and it still was just like nice.
Yeah.
It was
It would just be interesting to see how much of the main battery's charge would it need in order to charge up, because if it's a low amount, then dude, it's just I just really like to see you test it, like
I'll leave that test up to you, man. When I come out to Boston, I'll let you.
Because dude,
Honestly, I hate taking wheels apart. I do. Dude, I'm not.
And honestly, I'm starting to hate it too, because
I
I
hate
got
wrenching on
I got
wheels,
two
man.
wheels here. I got 2 wheels here, and they're both dead. So
I think after I fried the board on my Tesla that time, I was like, dude, I'm done, man. I'm done.
I think I'm done too. God mod seems easy because it's a splitter, but other than that, I am not trying to touch the motherboard, the main board at all. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Is
I'm sorry, looking at CJ's comments. CJ's
What is
funny. So we're going to move from the God mod, and everyone's talking about the V13, the EX30, all these integrate wheels, the Commander. Now, call me crazy. I got excited over a modded V10. This dude in the Netherlands added a suspension system to the V10. So we're going to go into that. And then CJ, we're going to pop you in here, bro. So let me get this up. You want to go? Yeah, this is good, right? Or we go bigger?
I can make it bigger.
Okay. This is incredible right here. This is what I was like. It's the DIY riders to me that are pushing the EUC market forward. It is. Because I mean, if someone can do this in their house, how come these bigger companies can't do this?
I know.
So yeah, let's rock and roll, man. Play this one out. This is awesome.
Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the process of the restoration and creation of the suspension system on my Emotion V10. I will also show you guys a few videos of me riding it where the suspension is in action. When I bought it, it was completely taped up. And when I removed the tape, it was even worse. As a hobby, I love inventing new things, and I saw the potential in this wheel, so a new project was born. I started with the top caps and the bumpers, which I screwed on from the side. These parts took me the longest to create by far. Getting the round shapes just right was a hell to model. After that, I went on with the suspension. Every side has its own module that is attached with 3 screws at the top and the big bolt through the original pedal holder at the bottom, which absorbs almost all of the weight when standing on it. It works by having 2 aluminium sliders in the red T-slots, with a strong spring in the middle. Here you can see the inner workings of the assembled system. I created a grease compartment for every aluminium slider, where it will dip in from below and pull the grease slightly down through the moving parts to keep everything lubricated and operate smoothly. At last, I sewed the leather cover for the foam leg protectors and put them on a cover which is attached to the system with magnets. Let's get to the good part. Here you see me riding in the forest, and I gotta admit, I live in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is one of the most flat countries in the world. So finding a suitable place to ride, which really shows off the suspension, was kind of hard. Also, my experience with driving it is almost zero, because I had it apart in my attic for almost 3 months while I was recreating it. So I found a good place, which is a little bumpy, and I tried to ride over it as fast as I could without falling down. I look like I wear no protection, but I wear a helmet and a motorcycle vest. I only did not have any knee pads, so yeah, that's my own fault. That's why I did a little careful and I wasn't stunting too much. Here on this video, honestly, it's kind of hard to see how the suspension works. I have got some slow motion video at the end, which will show it much better. But still, you have to take my word for it. It's way more comfortable to ride it than without suspension. I did take it out on the open road when I bought it in the very beginning, drove over some bumps, drove over some holes, and then you really feel the impact on your knees. And with the suspension, that's way, way less. So that's a good thing. Okay, so now let's go to the slow motion videos. I've picked some clips and I slowed them down to 20%, so you can really see the spring in action. What you will see is you will see the system drop down like 2 or 3 centimeters at a time with the bumps I take. I think when you are a daredevil and you will take some bigger jumps, like real airborne jumps, then you might even get to 8 centimeters, which is the maximum it will drop down according to the specifications of the springs. All right, this was my video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I am thinking about putting the STL files for sale on Etsy. I am not really sure how to put the suspension system on there, as you will also need to buy a lot of very specific parts to make everything fit. But I will think about that in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned.
That's crazy, man. I think I got more excited watching that video than watching a lot of other stuff.
That's, yeah, he brought an older wheel back to relevance.
Dude, you know how huge that is? Because think about right now, dude, you see a mass wheel dump going on. Everybody, I got to get suspension. If you could take and make these, you can make suspension for any wheel. If you can do
right.
That,
yeah.
You can do that for any wheel.
Yeah, that's wild. I saw a guy once in, I forgot what part of the US, but he had taken like his MSP or MSX and he had the suspension system above it. So it was not.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
stuff can be done, man. Oh, CJ, he took off. Okay. Yeah, dude. So, I mean, I don't know. I definitely want a suspension wheel, but I'm just going to hold off a bit. I'm going to ride, through the 2023 season, and then I might pick one up in 2024. So,
yeah, I put down some, money for the Master, the Commander Pro, because I really like that wheel. I know some people think it's hideous, but it's very practical. That's what I like. I like it. I like its squareness. I like the mud flap or the mud guard. I like how the lights are hidden behind, that hard rail. It's just, I like it, and the battery capacity, the speed, everything is there. What else do you need,
I think right now
it's even smaller than the V13 and it has more capacity.
Yeah. One of the California riders, you might want to contact Roger. They're actually selling, like you can get the wheels at a discounted price.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, much cheaper than what you can get them off some of the other distributors. So, but no, I like the Commander Pro. But I want to see, because I remember. Oh, this is another thing. This is what I was saying before. Marty had mentioned in one of his videos that Emotion is going to come out with at least 2 more suspension wheels, a bigger one, and then a smaller one.
A bigger one, bigger than what?
Now he didn't say. But I'm thinking maybe bigger battery capacity.
Then what?
People were complaining about people were complaining about the battery of the V13.
Oh, you're talking about Emotion.
Emotion, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Begode. I was
no, Emotion, okay. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I've heard a lot of people complain about a few things. I've heard people complain that it's big and the range is not there. It's big, it's fast, it's great, but not everything, like it doesn't have everything that was advertised. So one guy was telling me that they talked about it having the shutout, I guess, the where you could take out the suspension and just have it run off no suspension.
Oh, I got you.
I think you have to buy certain parts for that to make that happen. It doesn't.
They made it look like that all.
No, it doesn't just all come like that apparently. So he was disappointed in that. I think you might even have to buy the seat.
Yeah, that should come with it, man. You're paying all that money for a wheel. That should come with a seat, a microwave oven.
Yeah.
On top of
it. Coffee cup,
Right. Dude.
At least the coffee cup. I see a lot of people putting coffee cups on their wheels now. So
yeah, dude, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that you see most too is like people talk about the quality of the wheel. Now, I think my biggest gripe, that wheel was supposed to be uncuttable.
That's what they said. But hey, whoa, before you say something, because I had a little pushback with that. So okay. You can make a claim that a wheel is uncuttable. Okay. You can make that claim. But if you do it, if you say that, if you make that claim, and then you have certain specifications where that claim is true, and then people go out of the boundaries of that specification, is it still true?
That's a tough one, dude. Because I don't even think that was a high speed cutout. That was an overlean cutout, the one I saw.
That's what I'm saying. So I think we have to be a little bit realistic here. I think there's still so far no cutout wheel, in my opinion, because if you set specifications for your machine, and then someone
with the tilt back and all that
tilt back and all that stuff, and then someone, now you could adjust your specifications so that it encompasses many more instances of like cutout situations. But if you go way beyond, because what people were saying was it wasn't a real cutout. It was a cutout, but you can't really count it because it's like saying, I went so far to the point where the wheel literally tried to tell me don't do it, but I pushed more at the very limit that the wheel is incapable. You know what I'm saying? So that still doesn't really qualify, because what the issue is, I think InMotion is adjusting the beeps for for the tilt back or something like that.
Right. I think another issue too, and again, it depends on how you look, what angle you look at it. Remember, that was supposed to be the fastest wheel. They were always talking about the headroom that it had, like 80 miles an hour. I think it was 80 something miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I think people thinking that because that top speed was so high in the lift, that you could go ahead and push it hard as you want.
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean? It's
wait a minute. So what's the top speed of the V13 that's sold?
Right now, is it 56, 55, or 56? I think
right now it says, let me see, Kuji rolls. Where's the speed? Let me see okay. Let's just say
I think it's 56.
Let's just say the speed is 56, right? When you do a lift test, is this 56? Is it 56 or 61 or something like that?
It goes what if someone in the chat knows what that thing hit. The lift test, it goes up higher. What's
because lift tests are always a little higher, maybe like 10 or 12 miles higher.
But remember, that was the thing they led with, and that's what everyone went crazy. Oh, it's going to be the fastest wheel. And I had said a long time ago, I said that thing might do. We have the video. I think I said 55 or 56 miles an hour. So I think it almost. I don't want to put words in people's mouth. It's almost like knowing that that wheel has a lift speed that's much higher. You might think, okay, I can push this thing while I'm up to 50 miles an hour and shouldn't have a problem. And all of a sudden, you're laying on the ground. So
okay, 140 kilometers per hour, 2 miles per hour. That's 86.9 miles an hour. So
you see what I'm saying?
So that's the lift test. That's the lift test. So that's my thing, right? If you're pushing a wheel that can only do 56 miles an hour, why freaking have the lift speed be 140? You're giving people the wrong idea.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's why I said it's like people think, hey, that's the lift speed. I should be able to push this wheel safely to 56 hard without having it, shut down.
Yeah, because the thing is, you would think we're so far in the game, right? You would think that the people, since we're so far in the game, you would think that the number of people coming into the game is keeping up with the knowledge of the game, but that's not the case. The older people, or the people who've been versed in this industry or in this sport for a while, they're versed with what's up. But then the new people that are coming in, when they see 140 kilometers per hour lift speed, they might not want to push to 86 miles an hour, but they might want to push to 60 miles an hour.
Right.
Thinking, like you said, hey, I'm not reaching 86 miles an hour. It's 60 miles an hour I'm trying to reach. I think that's very misleading if the top speed is 56. If the top speed is 56, put it at 66. That way people, make the leaf speed 66, like limit it to 66.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that people know, oh, no, I can't even go near that. But you put freaking 140, I'm going to want to do 70.
Yeah, and they what dual hall sensors and all that, and it's just like, nah, man. So
Yeah, because you're giving people the thought that we have all these safeguards in mind that's placed on the wheel. We have the tilt back, we have the most powerful motor, we have the buffer, and now you have this false, security about the wheel. So I think putting 140 as the lift speed, it was a mistake. But I don't see a lot of people with the V13 out there though. Yeah, is it out? Is it like ready for purchase? It is, right?
yeah,
Or-
people have it. I believe people.
But I mean,
have it.
right? I don't see a lot of them though.
The V13, to me, I see it as like a Marty wheel. You're
Yeah.
going on some long ride. I don't see that as a city wheel. I think it's just too cumbersome. Like if you're trying to lane split through the city,
Mhm.
I mean, that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not a
Look,
super fast
there are
rider,
some
but
guys. When I went to the Broadway Bomb, I was pretty impressed by this guy in the Monster who passed me. He's a small guy, and he was throwing that Monster around like it was nothing. So some people just have that ability to throw big wheels around,
right.
in traffic. You know what I mean?
Oh, look at. I saw a video the other day of Sam on his Monster, and it was just like, whoo, whoo.
Yeah,
It's
that's
impressive.
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
impressive.
it's very impressive.
It's impressive.
I was supposed to go down to New York and have him teach me that because I can't do that. Like,
Impressive.
the way he's moving is ridiculous.
But he also said, remember too, after he was running on his Monster, he's like, man, if I'd have had my Nikola, remember he made that
Yeah,
statement?
no, he did say that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like true story. So I was coming back. I want to say it was the S22 demo. I think that's what it was. I believe it was the S22. I'm sorry, the S20. I'm gonna take it back to S20 demo.
Oh yeah.
And I'm heading back, right? So I'm cruising. I'm doing maybe about 20 miles an hour. And I stop at this red light and I'm looking. I look back over my shoulder. All I see is boom, 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 boom. 2 jet planes fly by me. It was Sam Pacheco and I think JR rolling. I'm like, damn, dude. I was actually embarrassed, man. I was going to shoot. I'm going to put my wheel on the bus. Those dudes were out. So they're like, Sensei. So they go up and they stop. And we talk for a little bit. And I'm like, nah, you guys go ahead, man. You guys go ahead. Yeah, them brothers can ride, man.
Oh
Those dudes
man.
can ride. That was hilarious.
And they ride a lot, so they always have that experience,
Yeah, they can ride, man.
Damn.
They were moving, dude. I was like,
I haven't been riding for a long time now, so I
weather's
have to
been
get.
crappy down here, though, man. I rode last week, President's Day, and then it's been raining. And then we had a little bit of hail and snow and sleet and all that crap. So
Holy smokes! Wow.
yeah, a little bit of everything the other day. So
Yeah. But yeah. So I was talking to Black Cobra about the Master Pro, and he was telling me how some people were. I think it was EVs that did a breakdown, and they were. I have to look at it. I still haven't had a chance to look at it, but they were saying, hey, "Oh, great wheel on the outside, but when you open it up, it's a mess. It's like a complete mess." And I was just like, listen, dude, it's the GOAT. Like the messier, the better.
hey, they did that with the Commander too. I don't even think they're going to carry the Commander Pro. Yeah.
What? It's heavy.
Well, they said it's a mess under there. So
right. That's what I'm saying. It was the Commander Pro. They're saying
right,
it's
right.
Mess.
But they opened it up, dude. It looked like a rat's nest inside there. I still like the wheel, though, dude.
That does not deter me with Begode at all.
No,
all
it doesn't.
So it's
Look
like
at some rat. They had me cracking up during that video. They're like, I don't know if we're gonna sell that one. What's up, Bob? I'm sorry, guys. We're not reading these comments here. I am so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me. We got EUC vibes in the house.
Oh yeah.
Stan, Spartacus. I'm just reading names. Thanks for joining. Willow, Prophet. What's happening? Salute. Boom. But yeah, man. So I don't know, dude. I'm still gonna do some more research on these capacitors because the stuff it really intrigues me. It really,
Yeah.
it really does.
Mhm.
Heck, I might even try to make one myself. But
Yeah.
that's it, dude. I'm like I said, I'm pretty pumped up.
I think I mean the Commander Pro. So 2 wheels I really want right now, and then I think I don't want any other wheels from. I don't mind testing wheels after that, but as far as owning them, I think these 2 wheels are probably the best. Is the EX30 to me and the Commander Pro. Not the Commander. I'm sorry. The Command is the Commander. Yeah, the Commander Pro with the suspension and all that. So that one and the EX30, because the EX30 does its job as a road wheel.
Yeah,
You know, I don't do steps. I know some people are
I'm
complaining
not a
that
stepper.
you know the battery's too low, so when you hit the steps, the battery,
Right.
the stand hits and the battery hits. I'm not into steps.
No,
I like it as a road wheel, as a track wheel, possibly. But the Commander Pro, that's an all-around wheel. You know
It's
what I'm
an
saying?
all-arounder,
It's
man.
it's a range, and they're both range wheels. And what's cool is they're both so like comparative. So you have the EX30, which is a tiny wheel, very kind of like Sherman-esque. You know what I mean? Because it's low to the ground and it's very balanced in a way.
And those battery packs sit low.
It's real low, so the center of balance is really low, so you don't have to worry about top heaviness or anything like that. Whereas the Commander Pro is a little taller, but you know what? It has that the off-road capability, the range, the durability, all that stuff. You could sit on it, no worries, because the EX30 you could sit on it, but it's still low. But the Commander is kind of high, so long distance, it's perfect. You know what I mean? So both have crazy range, crazy speed. Come on,
That's
I
right.
don't need it. I don't need any other wheel after that.
Oh yeah, Prophet. They Marty and Don, they love the Commander Pro.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, I
love
watched their video, and that's where I pretty much ended up making my decision. Even though in the beginning I really liked the Commander Pro, after watching Dawn Champion's video, because what she did was she allowed a lot of people to test it, and a lot of people were giving different opinions on it and stuff like that, or feedback. And as they were doing that, they're showing the wheel and they're showing how beautiful. Oh my gosh, I could not stop looking at that wheel. I'm like, holy smokes!
It's almost like a military look to it.
It has that utilitarian look,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a Swiss Army knife. Like it has just this parts.
It does, dude. Yeah.
Like,
oh, this is what I was going to ask you, because you actually got to ride it. What was your thoughts on the T4?
Who, me?
Yeah, because you think you get to ride Zenli?
I rode it a little bit. It's nice. It's actually a very nice wheel. Like actually nice. Like it really feels like a Gremlin though. Like because it's how like most wheels are proportional.
Mm-hmm.
This one didn't feel it didn't feel proportional, but not in a bad way. It's more like
it felt like a bigger wheel than a 16-inch wheel, you mean?
Yeah, and it definitely felt bigger. But it's weird. It's a really strange wheel. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's a small wheel with big muscles.
Because I think the thing weighs 70 pounds. I mean, it's small,
heavy.
but it's not light.
It's not. But it's a nice wheel. I didn't really get to test it. I just got to ride it, and it felt very comfortable. Very comfortable. So.
Dude, I came close to pulling a trigger and getting that thing. I was watching the video. I can't remember whose channel. Dude, I watch so many videos. Sometimes everything runs together.
Shout out to Doug Z Zenli and I forgot the other one's name, but they were the ones that.
Oh yeah, that's when you rolled out to Vegas.
Yeah,
and they were testing a Torque. Was it the Torque MSP? I think it was, and they were saying the speed was about the same. It was like about 37, 38 miles an hour. At like around
the T4. The
yeah.
T4.
Yeah,
it's pretty much comparative.
About the same.
I don't think the T4, it wasn't meant for speed. It's just a good
No.
It's a really
I
good
think some guys found that out the hard way, man. Yeah, you don't want to push that thing. It's not speed.
It's just really good for off-roading. You can
that
feel
like the Wicked City wheel though too, man.
The tire, the knobby tire it comes with is adequate. It's very adequate. Yeah.
See, I would like to get that when I commute into New York, man. Because
T4?
Yeah.
I have no interest in getting the T4. Like after riding it, I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't buy it.
See, my thing is I could throw it on a bus. That's my biggest thing. I could throw that on a bus, no problem. But I think if I throw like my Commander, if I got a Commander or something bigger, putting that on the bus, I'm gonna get some looks. Unless I throw it underneath it, and I don't know if I want to throw it underneath the bus.
Dude, you're gonna get loose regardless. So What's
I
up with
do.
you on buses, man? I don't understand. Every time I talk to you, you want to put a wheel on a bus. What's up with
Bus
that?
or a train, because that's the only way I can get it into the city unless
Oh,
I
really?
drive.
Oh.
Because for me to like go all the way up to the George Washington Bridge, and that's just way too far for me. It
Okay.
would take me forever to get to work. So
Oh, okay.
the only way
okay.
for me to get in is the Lincoln Tunnel.
Mm.
Now I can go through the tunnel, but you might see me on the 6 o'clock news. You know what I mean? Getting arrested. Getting arrested, dude.
You're not, dude. It's New York. You're not gonna get arrested. You're not
Probably
being,
not.
You haven't learned. You haven't learned from,
The
from
bridge.
all these guys. You haven't learned from me when I went on the bridge. You haven't learned from Sam. You haven't learned from all these crazy guys. Do you see where they go? These
Yeah,
guys
they do.
go everywhere. Like, dude, are you
That's
serious?
facts.
You will be the only one that's responsibly riding on those things. Okay.
You know what?
You'll actually save New York if you ride through the tunnel, because they'll be like, wow, this guy's actually following the traffic rules. Look at him. He's just really following us. He's not really dodging and bobbing and weaving through the traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
You give EUC a good name.
Tonight. No more good sensei, man. Full sense from now on, man. I'm gonna get reckless.
Full on reckless. So you'll be good, dude. You'll be good.
We got Hole. He got the T4. It's nice, but he wants the Commander too.
Absolutely, dude. Like, look. I don't always go based on looks. I go based on practicality. And the Commander Pro, I'm sorry, man. That wheel is a beast.
No, I might.
I mean, look at it. It's hideous, but it's like hideous in like a amazingly good way.
You know what dude, you know what I like about it though, and this is where some people will be like, I don't know, Sensei. I like that it has a shell on it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. How did I not mention that?
That's what I like about it.
Thank you.
I'm not a big fan of just the battery packs. Even if it has metal battery packs, I'm still not a big fan of just battery packs and pads and foam over it. I'm just not a big fan of that.
So if you look at most wheels on e-wheels, I don't know. Again, I don't know which ones are the most popular wheels, but we started off with shells, right? Started off with shells. These were the heydays. Started off with shells. And
Heyday.
No, the
I
heyday.
think it's only a couple years ago.
I know. This is how fast the industry in EUC moves.
fast,
It moves so fast that you move, dude. That's crazy. So we started off with shells. And then we started getting into, non-shell from well, they started it. They're the ones that the AS18 started it. And then the Begode was a close, behind, but actually not really. They still went ahead with the KS20. And then from the 20, we had the Master. And then the Master, we started getting all these other ones, the EX20 and all that. But the point is, if you look, you're right. These top wheels right here all have, except for this one, these top three have shells. And that's, to me, the biggest bargain or biggest quality if you really care about like the value of your wheel over time. Because this foam right here, and Marty did a really good job, actually. The way he
that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was how beautiful. He put the his fairing system on.
Yeah, that was
nice. That was nice. Marty,
because it wasn't like how do you say, it wasn't too showy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't flaring out. It wasn't like it had all these grooves and everything. It was just like perfect. You know what I mean?
Marty made that thing look like a darn ninja. You know what I mean? It was just
I know. It was just like
yeah, right. Looked like it should be coming out the Bat Cave or something.
No, that was nice. That was nice.
Real nice.
That was real nice. So if someone could do a 3D part of that, that would be nice, because that was really smooth. But yeah, my point is, you have that, and then these right here. Okay.
Sorry, what's up, Wilson? I'm sorry, Wilson jumped
ahead,
in
man.
there. I don't know if he's still in
the video.
Yeah, no, he was in the comments. Like I was trying
to. Chur Lee says Commander Pro equals master of a good structured build. Yeah, and that's what I like about it, because look, you have the veteran Sherman S. I love the shell as well, but we already know what kind of issues this thing has. And then this one is awesome. What's his name? Cobra was saying certain things are falling loose. Just by riding it, some bolts are coming loose or something like that. You have to keep tightening it. This thing is just no games, dude. No games. Like, look, if you like, I'm very picky, right? So if you look at the rail right here, the front ones are fine because it's sticking out. That's the point of it, to protect the light. But this one is sticking up. This one's sticking up, which is fine. But if you look at this one's sticking up as well, but it's still in contour with the shell. So it's not really sticking out per se. So when it crashes, it's just gonna fall right here. There's nothing. If you happen, I don't know. It's just smooth. It's just perfectly. It's just well done. It's just well done, in my opinion. There's not much going on. It's just well done.
Nah, it's
and the light is all recessed all the way back there, so you don't have to worry about lights getting lost. I know on my MSP, every time I crashed the light, that's the first thing I was worried about. This one, I'm pretty surprised though. I'm surprised that the light is outside of the handlebars, right?
Right.
There,
You would think it'd be recessed back in there.
Yeah, exactly. Because this one's all the way in. You'd think that this one would pretty much be the same, just go all the way in, but it's not.
That's the reason why, even with my RS, I know people are always talking about the goat shells being like eggshells, and I put the hard shell on it. Like most people don't even know that there's a hard shell on there.
Oh yeah. Your thing, yeah, that's right. And but overall, the build looks fantastic with this wheel right here. It's just you don't want to drop it because it's so beautiful. It's so smooth. No. It's so nice. Look at it. It looks nice. But this thing, who cares? Drop it. It'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a true off-roading wheel. I'm not saying this is not, but I'm just saying there's not much you could damage here. You know what I mean?
Right. Up to 100%. Now, someone had said, do you think this is a question? I'm sorry I missed it. That manufacturers knew about the super capacitors. Me, honestly, I don't see how you could be in this business making these PEVs and not know about capacitors or super capacitors, because so much electronics have capacitors and stuff in it. So I think
there's no real test. There's no real test to say that they work or not. We know we see what we saw with EUC upgrades test and George Go, but we haven't. Why would a manufacturer invest in something that's not,
Well, there's other riders that have been testing these things as well.
And no, but no.
As far as riding,
I'm talking because look, if you want stiffer pedals, you could always get a firmware upgrade, and you'll get stiffer pedals.
Yeah, but that's one thing I hate when I say that, but I think that's the easiest way. It's not. It goes back to what like Roger was saying. It feels stiffer, but you get to that point where you get that slight little dip.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like how can you?
It doesn't go any further, man.
But how can you measure that though? Because that's still subjective. Look, we had a situation where Dawn, what's her name? Dawn Champion? Is it Dawn that crashed? Not Dawn. The girl in New York, Amber. Mm-hmm. She cut out. Now we could say she was riding hard. She could blah blah blah. Do you remember what size was the capacitor?
I want to say, I believe it was a medium. I believe it was the medium.
Was it recommended for her wheel?
Well, I was on the EXN. I guess
the EXN is not a big wheel, dude.
No, it's not a big wheel. But again,
but that's my point. That's my point. When we're faced with a result, because there were many guys who were like, "Hey, there was another guy who said, "Hey, I put the God mod on, and man, there were a couple bumps back there. If I didn't have the God mod, I would have crashed." How many times has this guy crashed in the past? You see what I'm saying? So now I'm going down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to measure this thing, because no one is doing any tangible measurement except for EUC upgrades. You see what I'm saying? Right. So tangible test is this is why I need to test it too, because what I would do is just put like a freaking
you have a meter, like it shows the volts for the battery. If you had a meter, that would show the draw of the current coming out of the capacitor. Now, I know when George did his video, he was trying to see what the battery sag. It's not going to show what the batteries are going to sag. It's still not going to show what.
We don't care about the battery. We care about.
It's not going to show what the capacitor is.
We care about the capacitor.
A meter,
exactly.
Showing.
Because here's the thing, man. If you make a claim, people are going to test that claim. Mm-hmm. But then there are people who just won't do it. They'll just put it there for the pedal thing. That seems to be consistent. You know what I mean? That seems to be a consistent result, that you put that mod on, and the stability of the wheel is like stronger. You know.
That's another point. The wheel feels stronger.
Yeah.
It like I said, my RS doesn't feel. It feels like an RS GT.
But then to go ahead and say it'll help you with cutouts, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I believe it will.
See, I don't like that word believe.
I know, but
I don't like that word
I
believe.
I wouldn't say a high speed cutout because you can still cut it out at a high speed.
See, that's high speed to you. What's high speed to you? What's high speed to me? You see, subjective. High speed to you is like, whatever. High speed to me is like something completely different.
I'm talking about if you push your wheel to its high speed, you can still cut that thing out.
You can push it, but what's your level of pushing? Because acceleration is
What I'm saying is, if your wheel can only do 47 miles an hour before it cuts out,
that's a given. That's a given.
That's a given.
That's a given. But I'm just saying, like in cases where, for example, you have bumps while you're riding at like 35 miles an hour, you will say, well, I didn't cut out because if I didn't have the mod, I would have cut out. You know what I'm saying? But how can you measure that? How can you know that? You don't know that.
Right.
I'm being the advocate here.
I mean, I think you have to do stuff like that. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Only thing I can say is you have to ride it. And I think once people ride it, and I'm not talking about just get on it, ride that thing for a good ride, and you definitely are going to say, okay, there's definitely something going on. There's definitely something going on. Because at first I was like, I don't know, is it placebo? Because I hear people saying that. And I rode my RS for over 1,000 miles. And now that I've put these other miles on it, I'm like, it definitely feels like a completely different wheel. It doesn't feel like the old RS. I remember Jesse Pike had put one on. I think he has one on his Nikola, and Jesse said the same thing. As Nikola feels like a new wheel. It's weird, man. I guess that's why I want you to ride the thing so bad. I really do. Yeah.
I like the Goad because look, if you look at the Commander Pro versus the Sherman S, let's look at the specs. You have max speed of the Commander Pro, 55 miles an hour. The comparison is 45. Then you have battery capacity, 36 on the Commander Pro, 3,600. Oh, so the batteries are the same. The batteries are the same. Hold on. So I guess most people are upset that it's 100 volts.
I still think 100-volt wheel is still a force to be reckoned with. It depends on how you ride it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, what's the average person going to do with their 134 volts besides say that I have 134 volts?
Right.
I'm talking about the average person here.
Right. I mean, I had said that years ago too. I mean, you have an elite. There's a very small elite people that ride at, 45 plus. You know what I mean? It's everyone's not flying around like that.
And they both have good suspension, 90 millimeter travel. That's good.
Dude, that's one thing.
Oh, shoot. Go ahead.
That I'm afraid of.
What?
I know, dude, I get that suspension wheel, dude. I'm going to be cranking. I'm going to be cranking.
Cranking what? Speed?
The wheel. Yeah. The thing is, even with me, it doesn't look like I can ride faster than what people see in my videos. I can ride faster. I just don't. I think
it's hard with the camera, man.
With the camera. I always tell people, when that wind is blowing with that camera and you tilt it the wrong way, it's like a rudder on a plane. You can feel the wind pushing you like dude, I turned that thing one time, dude. It pushed me out. I was like, dang, man, it's scary as heck.
But if you look at the Commander Pro, the one feature that not many wheels seems to be having is the speaker. Bluetooth music, dude.
Yeah.
What? They're bringing it back.
Back old school.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Bluetooth speaker.
That's awesome, man. Bluetooth speaker. Wow. I don't even use it, but the fact that they have it is wow. That's awesome.
I took mine out. I used mine on the Tesla when I first got it.
I used it in the house, like when I needed speakers or the beach.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or if I go to the park,
Let me see. Surely 134 volt, 3,600 watt hour has a lower battery capacity than 100 volt. Okay. Oh yeah. That's Sherman. That was that was a little disappointing, though, dude. That the OG Sherman had better range than like 130. I was right. I was like,
Yo, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say this, but someone else said maybe Sherman made when they made the Sherman, they didn't know how to make it again.
to this day, I still say the OG Sherman is still. I'm saying the best wheel built. I don't care what anybody.
Yeah,
says.
yeah. It's a
I do.
fluke. It seems like it's a fluke because they can't repeat the awesomeness of that wheel.
That wheel to me had the perfect footprint. I ride that thing because if I get another wheel, I have to get rid of a wheel. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of that Sherman. I love it because I always wanted one.
Yeah.
That thing feels fantastic, man. I love that wheel. Perfect footprint.
Yeah.
Gives you a little bit of everything, you know? So.
No, the Sherman was nice. It was really nice wheel. It's just too heavy for me at the time because I had nothing to compare to. But
Right.
now it's like, holy smokes.
It's light.
Everything's like freaking.
It's light.
Yeah, but you know, there's this thing called density. So okay, you have the 9-bot, right? The 9-bot Z10.
Hold on a
What?
second.
What?
Just said the OG Sherman will make it wet in his casket. So, dude, that's funny. That's funny, dude. I'm
Basically,
sorry.
he's a ride or die.
Yeah. That's he's gonna get buried with that thing. That's funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So there's just so density, right? So density is basically how much mass is in one. You know, how much mass is in a particular object, right? And how much space that object occupies. So you'll have like the Z10, for example. It's a very small wheel, but then you'll compare the Z10 to like an InMotion V10, for example, which is a taller wheel. It's not as fat. It's a taller wheel, but it's a lot lighter. The Z10 smaller wheel, yeah, it has those fat tires and all that. But if you look at the shell and everything that wheel was made out of, dude, that wheel was dense.
It was.
Like
It
it was insanely heavy for no reason. It was so dense, right? And so it gave off more weight than how it looked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny that these bigger wheels, you know, they're much more massive. But what I like about them is, or especially the Commander, it just doesn't seem dense. That Sherman definitely looks dense because of the material they probably used.
What's
You know
that,
what I mean?
magnesium?
Yeah, because this is plastic. This is still plastic, right?
Right.
Yeah, this is magnesium. This is like close to like some type of metal. You know what I mean? But this is still plastic, so it's big. But the real reason it's heavy is because of the motor and the batteries, and maybe the suspension, but not the shell.
Oh yeah, dude. That I don't know. I can't.
So I think it's going to be a lot more manageable than the Sherman.
Because I know even like when I ride the Sherman and then I jump on the RS, I'm like, what? It just the darn RS feels so much lighter, man.
Oh yeah, of course. When you go to a bigger wheel and back to a smaller wheel, it's like cake.
I jumped on the RS. I'm telling myself the whole time, just slow down. Just slow it down. Dude, I was ripping on that thing, man.
But I mean, 35 miles an hour, for example, on a like 20-inch wheel is much different than 20 miles an hour on like a 18-inch wheel. It feels completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first got the EXN, the speed, like 40 miles an hour, it got there in no time. Like no time. Of course, it's a combination between how powerful the motor is and the size of the tire. But dude, 40 miles an hour was no big deal. Now, when I drove the high-speed MSB, I felt my 40 miles an hour. I felt it. Like I knew I was doing 40.
Yeah.
But on the EXN, I didn't feel I thought I was doing like 25, 30. But that thing was cruising so smoothly at 40. And you're looking at it, you're like, holy smokes. So diameter of the wheel matters a lot, you know?
Yeah, it does. What else we got here? Yeah, like I said, I think with me, if I had to choose, if I could get a good deal on a Commander Pro, I would get a Commander Pro. If I could get a good deal on it, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens.
maybe get the test one.
You could, yeah, and just send it up to Sam and let him tidy up the wires and stuff inside a little bit. Zip
The
tie
rat's
some
nest.
wires up.
Put some rat bait in there.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think for me, this season is just going to be the season of miles, man.
Right.
Yeah, I
right.
want to ride as many miles as I can. Hit Chicago, DC, Pittsburgh, Boston. I just want to go a bunch of different places.
So what do you think there's going to be any new wheels in, I mean, I guess that's a stupid question, but what companies do you think is going to come out with new wheels in 2023 and how soon you think?
Oh, I definitely think Peugeot is going to drop another wheel.
I think Peugeot is like, dude, right now there's no pressure for them to release anything. So they're just waiting on the market. They're just waiting on the competitors. If they mention something, they'll probably release something after them or before them. What do you think?
Song. Well, King Song, I don't know. I don't know what's up their sleeve.
I don't think King Song should focus to build anything right now. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. They jumped in deep water and couldn't swim. I'm not being mean, but I'm just being honest. I think
No, I just have a picture in my head of like, I can't swim. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I said it. I keep saying this. They should have just came out with a refined version of the S18. They knew what worked. They know what didn't work. Fix the problems and the complaints that people had with it. Stronger motor, bigger battery, make the the shell a little stronger certain places. Instead of just designing the whole S20. Oh, you know what I mean? They should have did that. Then once they get that fixed, maybe do an S20 or S22. But I think they jumped off the deep end, man.
Yeah. It looks like it. It looks like it.
I like the S22, but the thing with me is just felt a little bit too wide for me.
It didn't feel wide for me, though.
Well, wide for me, man.
It's so
I think
strange.
it's like
Like
13 and a half inches, I think.
when I got on it, it felt like a tiny wheel. It looked
Really?
tiny.
Wow.
It felt tiny. I'm like, wow, this thing looks way smaller in real life than I thought.
I'm sorry, I couldn't really ride it either because the pads weren't set up properly for me, man. So I felt like I was off balance.
Okay.
But it felt, I mean, at that time, the suspension felt smooth.
I like the tire. I absolutely like that. That's the only road tire I like. I mean, off-roading tire I like.
Oh, the worst off-road tire that I think I've tried so far was a freaking CST on a Hero, man.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
thing,
bad.
you
Yeah.
would go to turn and it
Yeah,
would just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
whoop,
Oh
it
my
would
gosh,
just
it was
flop, man.
horrible, horrible. Yeah, I remember when I
That was scary,
tested it with you. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
dude. I was on a brick road, right?
No,
Right,
it's
that
bad.
thing, and I went to turn and it hit one of those cracks in the bricks, and it was just like,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Flop.
yeah, man. I'm like, I'm going down for everybody. Yeah, that was crazy. But
So
that-
I'll be picking up that's the plan, to pick up the V13 tomorrow. I'm curious. I don't remember the last time I rode a big wheel, so I hope nothing happens to me.
yeah, you'll be good. Oh, what do you say? King Song is going to be part of what?
Oh,
Really?
is that a lie?
Come on, Wilson. Spill the
Where-
tea, bro.
Whoa. Hold on.
The Commander Pro are being sold. Dude, I can't hit. Now 3,700, man.
Oh
3,700.
man, I don't remember my password. Crap. Oh,
Don't put
shit.
it online, dude. You can see it.
I can't. I don't remember it.
What
so
are you
let me
What are you
just-
trying to pull up?
King Song, now part of In Motion. Let me see. Because in electric unicycle forums, you could always get that information. You know what I mean? If someone,
It's a rumor.
it's probably a rumor, right?
That's crazy though if they do that.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up later but if they do that, that's sad because it's like, what? One wheel made you do that, dude? One failure, one mess up made you do that?
Oh, they can definitely resurrect a good wheel. You just have to what's good you keep and what's bad, you fix. I mean,
Yeah. toss it in the trash. And people will forget, man. Just throw it in the trash. People forget.
Change it. Just change the number, dude. Change.
Just throw that thing in the trash. I feel like everybody who rides a Kingsong S22 are like on pins and needles. They're just like, okay, please no.
Oh, dude. Oh man.
Please, let me be the only one. No, please. no,
That's
because
so bad, dude. That is so bad.
no, because there's this saying, your reputation precedes you. There's a saying like that. So it doesn't mean that that's how you are. It's just it could be the best wheel ever. It's just that the reputation is so destroyed that in your mind, if you know about what's going on, you just always have it in your head. It's just like when Wrong Way was saying Begode is so bad, get rid of it, right? So that narrative just kept going out there all the time. It's so bad. Look at all the fires. Oh my gosh! Like, look at the rat's nest. Oh my gosh! Look at all the rats. You know, like, and then you buy a Begode wheel, or you have a Begode wheel, and suddenly you're like, yeah, you're going in the trash. I'm not riding you again, even though you've never experienced it in your life.
Yeah. Dude,
because of all that
Begode performance, man.
There's nothing like Begode's performance.
Nothing like Begode performance. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. Spartacus said, I definitely didn't miss that comment. Ustride killed Kingsong.
Dude, that goes down in history.
Dude, a lot of people don't want to admit it, and a lot of people don't want to mention it, but they know what's up. They know it's because of the fire, but no one wants to mention it. No one, like, because look, even I was taken aback, because it's like, this wheel, remember, we made a live about it, that this wheel was the most anticipated wheel of its time, like insanely anticipated.
It was. See, it wasn't like the Sherman. The Sherman came flying underneath the radar.
That's what was cool about the Sherman. In fact, when I first saw the Sherman, I thought it was the most ugliest. I'm like, what the frick? This is ugly, because it was so different. It was so way out left. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing we've ever seen before. So when I saw the 3D rendering of it, I was like, ugh. But then when it came into the real world, the aesthetics is what got me.
Yep.
The aesthetics, everything was just so pristine. Everything, like nothing that was there, like was there by mistake. Everything was like what perfectly designed, and I'm like, holy smokes! Like that makes Gotway's plastics look like freaking, like subpar. So, a lot of snow tomorrow. Okay,
just so I gotta work tomorrow. Oh, I'll keep bringing this up. Even with if you look at the new Lambo, they use super capacitors and ultra capacitors in that new car. So, yeah, dude, I'm gonna do more research because I want to learn more about that stuff. But
yeah, well, Lambos we don't have to worry about cutting out.
No, not at all.
So,
but highly, just very just looking forward to see what. Hey, who knows what company will put the capacitors in wheels now?
Yeah, let's. I want you to do a test of your own, if you don't mind. Don't blow your wheel.
I don't want to blow the wheel.
But you have a splitter, right?
As far as what?
For the mod, for the
the splitter comes standard with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you able to do the same test that
I would just have to take the cover off.
Yeah, that's it. Just take the cover. But hey, no pressure, dude. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm just
bringing it to Boston and let you run it through its paces.
Oh man, but it's gonna take me a while, dude, because I have to put at least 200 miles back on my legs.
Then we cannonballing.
You know what I'm saying? Cannonballing.
That's it.
I have to at least put 200, at least 500 miles on my legs. I haven't been riding, dude.
I'm trying, dude. It's pouring down rain right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So,
but overall, there's nothing else going on, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But yeah, so far I would say of 2022 leading into 2020, I would say 2023, the biggest innovation so far that has potential is that the mod, the God mod. You know.
Yeah, I think they're on the right track,
Yeah.
and I'm actually curious to see where it's going to be in a few months because I know that they're still running tests on it, and
Okay.
he's had quite a few renditions of that thing too. It's not like that's the first one. So
Yeah.
so he's been riding for a while.
Let's see how it. I just want to see some tests, some actual physical tests, because it's an electronic component. You know what I'm saying? Like electronic component is not like potions, dude. It's like magic. You just mix some potions, mix some stuff, and then you drink it. You feel better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's definitely not snake oil because I know someone's like, "There's a snake oil." No, it's definitely not snake oil.
Well, no, the reason people call it snake oil is because they don't know what it's for.
They don't.
We
I don't think
know what it's
people
for.
understand.
I don't think he's saying what it's for correctly, because I'm thinking it's going to prevent me from cutting out. You're telling me it's better in terms of like being able to ride your wheel harder. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
what is the message that's coming across? So if maybe he has to fix the messaging, because if it's not there to prevent you from cutting out, don't say that. You know what I mean? And no one will critique you. But if that's what you're saying, people are going to critique you.
Yeah, I think cutouts it can happen. I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, you'll
But
never."
it happened. It happened in New York.
Right.
He had the mod on an EXN, which is not a massive wheel, and she cut out. So
Right.
you
I
can't.
think it was. One thing I didn't understand was they said, I understand a 30% battery, yes, and then they said 9% correction. I wasn't sure what the 9% correction was.
That's what testing does. So when you test for something, you're able to at least, and I'm not saying just because you test something, you're going to know 100% what its boundaries are, but at least you can give people something to expect. But when you have something such as gray as it works, or it helps you stop from cutting out with no specifics, you're leaving people open for massive interpretation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't worry, I'm at 45%, but I'm good. I got the God mod. Oh, I'm at 90%. I'm good. I got the God mod. Let me go hard, and then you crash, and it's like, what the hell?
What happened?
You know what happened? Like,
I can say with the winter riding, because it was cold that day. When I was riding the first time I tried it, I was like, okay, I'm not going to charge the battery on purpose. So I think I was talking to you before I tried it on. I said, I'm just going to ride it the next day. Same temperature, really cold. And we all know that your battery sags a lot. Get that battery sag in a cold weather.
Yeah.
And I started out at 57%, ran it down to 47%. And I was still pushing that thing normally harder than I normally ride. And it impressed me, man. It impressed me. It's just like it didn't want to give out.
Hey, listen, that's way different than saying it won't cut you out. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I'm not gonna. I will never say wheels not. You can't cut a wheel out.
So for example, right, when the first time you told me that the pedal felt it was stronger, right? The first company I thought of was EUC Service, because EUC Service, when he takes his wheels or the performance wheels and makes them into an EUC Service performance wheel, right? That's what his wheel does. Because I remember Brian Zoom Wheel saying, you can't cut it out. He said that flat out. And you know he's that type of rider. So why does he say that? Because I don't know what they did with their wheel, because they did some winding with the motors and all that. And he demonstrated. He demonstrated it. He raced with a bunch of people in London. Like he literally floored the wheel, like leaned into it, and he was out.
Yeah.
And there was no cutting out. Why? Because the power was there. The power, the motor was there, the windings was there. I'm not sure.
You know what though? I wonder what capacitors he had in that wheel.
Did he have capacitors?
That's the thing. We don't know. But that's what that wheel was known for.
But
He wasn't the only one that said that about the MSS either.
And it wasn't just capacitors though. It was beefier. It was firmware. It was, I forgot what it was. It was windings.
But what I'm saying is, I wonder if they had bigger capacitors. I don't know.
Maybe,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we never know. But
good point.
But that wheel was known for how crazy it could accelerate.
the reason I brought this up is because I would love to see EUC service tested because they have tangible results, dude. They have like a screen and they do the monitoring thing just like you do when you increase the horsepower to your car. You put it on a dyno and then you actually test it. They built a rig. They built an actual rig for the MSS that when you push it to a certain limit, it cuts out, and he can actually see the graph and see where it cut out and adjust or build according to that limitation, But whereas the God mod, there's no data. It's all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
I understand. I mean, only thing I say, I don't want to badmouth the.
It's not. No. It's not bad. It's not bad mouthing. Let me do it. It's not bad.
No. My thing is, I want to give the dude a fair shake. I want to give him a fair shake. I would love
a fair
for
shake
him to get to a point where, after all his testing, that he can actually.
But he's selling it already, so you have to critique it.
Right, but my critique on it feels good.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. It's not about what you felt is a tangible result because you actually felt it. Yeah. The pedals not dipping any further, the pedals feeling firmer, soft mode becoming medium becoming hard. That's tangible because not only you said it, Roger said it, George Go said it. So it's tangible, right? This is not like, no, you actually felt the pedals change, the stance. But no one can conclusively say this thing will help you from cutting out. You can't. I don't think anybody can conclusively say that.
I think you'll be less likely to cut out. Not saying, because like I said, I would say anything's plausible.
But how can you even say that?
All right, I'll put it to you this way. For me, my car is a stick shift, so when I shift, I know what my clutch feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And I always would ask people, "How do you know when your clutch is going bad?" They say, "No, you'll feel it." I'm like, what? No, you don't have to take your car in. You'll know when your clutch is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay. Driving my car. I was driving back to Pittsburgh. I shifted. All of a sudden, I felt my clutch like it slipped.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, I was like, wait a minute. I've never felt that before.
Mm-hmm.
Driving it again, and it was just happening every so often. I came back. And then it just started to progress. I know I was shifting to a gear and I could feel it slip.
Mm-hmm.
So I associate that with how, like from riding that RS, how those pedals were feeling like when I'm accelerating, stopping, jump back down on it, come back, get on it again. It feels completely different now that I have the mod on than I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, that is one thing that I didn't like about the RS was, even like when you make a turn, you could just feel, you could even almost see your toe go like this. Now, nothing, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Like I said, that's good. So keep it there, and then if the effects apply somewhere else, or if the God mod helps somewhere else, then be specific as well. You know what I mean? Don't be vague at all. Don't say it's less likely to cut out unless you have some type of proof. You know what I'm saying? Because this is different. This is proof. You said soft mode changes to medium mode. That is true.
Well,
2 people said.
Yeah, I mean I think that's even subjective in a sense, saying it changes the mode. I mean that's
not the mode, but the feel.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. I mean that's the best way that I could put it. Because I don't even like. I think after I had cut out my. I had cut out the
Tesla.
I cut out the Tesla. I think that was in soft mode, and then even the M10, and then I think you're the one that actually got me riding the RS in hard mode.
Oh yeah, that's what I told you about hard mode. Yeah,
and I think Law had said something about it too. It's like even when you're off road, it's just less play in the pedals.
Way less play. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's the worst thing, dude. You ride that thing and it's only due time till you're up on your toes like a ballerina, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any confidence at all.
So Stan said, wrong way called EUC service frauds. Okay. So you might have to look into the history of that stand. I don't know how new you are. I don't think you're new to this, but the thing is, Wrong Way did a review on the MSS. Remember that? And he gave it rave reviews. So it's only after his incident with EUC Service that he changed and started saying they're frauds, because when he did, remember, he created a video on the MSS and he gave it remarkable views. He went up halfway up a hill and then he took off from halfway point of the hill and kept going. And he did backwards turn. He did a hill climb.
Really? I remember vaguely though.
Dude, he did a complete video on the MSS before his fiasco with EUC Service, and he gave it insanely good reviews.
Wow.
So what happened? So was that placebo, or was he just playing, or was he paid just to say that? What's going on? That's why you cannot go based on emotions. You cannot go based on these things. So
because that would be the only, I've only heard great things about that MSS.
That's what I'm saying. He gave it fantastic reviews when he let me see. Wrong Way MSS review. Is it still here? That's not the one. MSS by EUC Service. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one. And he gave it fantastic reviews. So go check it out. But it was 2 years ago, and this was before the fiasco. And the review on this was phenomenal. So to call them fraud suddenly, maybe that particular wheel that
okay, so Mickey had a question about that guy.
Maybe that particular wheel that he was testing at the time was a fraudulent wheel, meaning, but EUC Service came back and said, listen, we told the guy, from what I vaguely remember, we told Wrong Way, don't test that wheel because we were in the middle of fixing it. That's what I remember. We were in the middle of fixing the wheel because the guy had crashed the wheel or something. And so we don't want you to test a crashed wheel. We want to make sure the wheel is fine before you test it. So
right.
That's what I understand in terms of the gist of that. But yeah. But
yeah, well,
politics is never fun.
No, it's not. I stay out of it. I try to stay out of it. Sometimes you can't help jump in it. But no, the capacitors definitely, but they'll recharge up in the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll recharge up. And he has a 3-year warranty on those things now too.
Who?
Declan.
Oh, really? Oh, that's great.
If anything goes wrong, if you're not happy with it, he said he'll refund you your money too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's great.
Free snow. Free snow.
Oh, in New England. I know. Oh, man.
Dude. I don't know what, dude. It sounds like everything's going on out there right now.
Yeah, but last time they said it was going to be a storm, and there was no storm. So hopefully it's the same thing again.
Yeah, we were just on the tail end of it, man. We got like maybe an inch of snow in Jersey, so we didn't get much.
Yeah, well,
free snow cones. Let me get a mango flavored, Wilson. Let me see what I used. Okay, making sure we got through all these comments. But yeah, dude, I don't know anything else. Anyone want to add anything? I love doing streams like this. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Yeah,
but it's good.
It was great. It was great. We covered all the topics that we wanted to cover. So.
Yeah, I think it went well. Well. We learned some stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys might have a glimpse of the new wheels we might be cruising. Maybe. Hint. You never know, man. I say I'm not getting anything, and next you know, man, you'll see something pop up in the video.
I know. That's funny.
We'll see, man. So I don't know what else. Anyone else have any questions?
Does Ustride want an EX? Oh, wait, let's go to Spartacus above. He says, we got free frozen everything up here in Minnesota.
I believe it too.
Guessing it's cold over there?
Yeah, dude, that's no joke in Minnesota.
And Wilson says, does Ustride want EX30 or Commander Pro as Litec option or cheaper option via Alien Rise without the Litec? I don't know what model I want, but I know I want both wheels.
Dude, get the regular batteries and throw a capacitor on it.
No, because look what happened with my high speed. I mean, the EX30 is it's what is it? Hold on. It's a C40 motor, and it's oh man, it doesn't even say.
Dude, that thing looks, it does look crazy.
Oh, I still haven't seen his thing yet. So it's 134 volts. So I'm not really worried about the battery at this point, because it's a high powered wheel anyway.
Yeah, they say the acceleration on that thing and everything is the performance is just top notch on that wheel, man.
Yeah. New motor. No one else has that. Just Begode.
That's it.
It's awesome. So
oh, okay, so it was, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know my wife definitely said, man, no more wheels, please. I have to get rid of something, and I don't want to get rid of anything. I said maybe the Tesla, but like I'm not going to be able to. I would have to give the Tesla away because I don't think I would charge anybody for the wheel. But me and that Tesla been through such a lot, man. I really don't want to get rid of it.
yeah.
Don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, ride safe, pilots. Absolutely. Ride safe,
Yeah.
everyone. Absolutely.
Right, safe. Well, guys, I'm gonna get ready to shut this down.
Yep.
I gotta jump and go to work tomorrow. Shouldn't have told him I was going in, man.
Likewise, I gotta go work tomorrow.
But I gotta make that money for them wheels.
Is the no shell an engineering benefit? It's the no shell is a benefit for Begode.
Yeah, they're just recycling that.
It's a benefit for them because they don't have to make a shell.
Right.
It's easier to put out a wheel, in my opinion, without a shell.
Oh, dude. You know it's gonna look nasty.
But
I want to see if EUCU makes a shell for the EX30. You
That'd
saw
be
the
nice.
shell they made for the Master.
no, it looks like the one Marty did, except it's more complete.
Good golly, dude.
Yeah, I like their shell. I like the
Yeah,
one
those
they did.
things look so good.
I would just get it in matte black. I don't like the colors. I like the matte because
That's what I have, just the matte black, and I
Yeah.
just highlighted the RS on it. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the matte black.
But their shells for the Master was awesome.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
thing. It made it look like it darn like a motorcycle or something, man.
It looks like a complete wheel. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it does. It looks better. No shell. Let's see what else. Good to see you. Be good. Yes. Stay safe up there. Stay warm.
Yeah, good to see you too, Wilson.
Gentlemen, I want
Well,
to
I
thank
didn't see you,
each
but
and every one of you for joining us tonight. But remember, you get on your
Absolutely.
wheel, you ride it like you
like
hate it.
you hate it. But now, when you write it like you hate it, if you have the God mod, you be good.
That's it. But dude, I am coming to Boston. As soon as we get a little break in the weather, that'll be a couple of weeks. We have to coordinate on that,
Yeah.
and we'll make it happen. I'm looking forward to see your videos on the V13. Be safe out there with that.
Yeah.
You know, you might have to
Absolutely.
put some stirrups on, man, to brake test that for the brake test, man. Dig them stirrups in the side and grab the front.
Well, if it doesn't come with pads, I'll have to make my own and put that on there.
Definitely need pads with that thing.
Yeah.
Definitely need some pads on it.
Because it's pretty big, but we'll see.
Wait, let me see it. I need to
Sensei.
go to the storage locker. Right? You know what, dude? Yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna do too. That's it, man.
Where are you going, Sensei? I'm gonna get. We need sugar. I'll be back.
That's it. Yo, Spartacus, if I get kicked out, you know why, man.
Hey, at least you'll have this. At least you'll have the storage locker.
I still have the storage locker. Oh, you guys are the best, man. All right, everyone, have a great night.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.
No.